And welcome back. Episode 5 of Buying the Hobby. Dante, what's up, brother?
Episode 5.
5.
Man, we're flying through already. Flying through already.
And I think this is the most important one because it's the draft. I mean, the NFL season is finally here. NBA playoffs underway. Baseball still breaking my heart.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Pirates suck.
Yep, another year.
Yankees, you guys are looking good.
Yeah, looking good so far. Judge has been phenomenal, leading in like every category. Shocker. AL MVP already locked up.
Yep.
I love NFL draft season, dude.
Me too.
I mean, it's probably the best draft.
I agree.
I don't even think it's a question, honestly.
Best draft ever? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Oh, just
I would go. I might be one of the worst of the decade.
You think so? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But I just think I think it's the best draft. It's most exciting. They really put on a show for the fans.
You
That's
mean
like been their goal.
out of any sport?
Yeah, out of any sport.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's not even a question, dude. Actually, I was listening to a different podcast. I can't remember the name of these guys, but they're great, and they do like ranking like top 10 things that like people watch in sporting. And the draft was like number 8.
First round, yeah.
Which is crazy, like in viewership wise.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
I wouldn't even think that.
Especially on like very big years, like last year. I would love to see the ratings of that because.
What do you think 2020 was, like COVID year? I bet it was nuts.
I mean, everybody was inside.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was a different experience too because nobody was at the draft. They were all doing it from home.
What were you doing during the 2020 draft? Where were you? Do you remember?
2020 draft, that would have probably just sitting at home.
Really?
I can't imagine I was doing anything.
Dude, I specifically remember delivering pizzas in the mid. I was in the middle of
door dashing?
No, I was a pizza delivery driver. So I was working throughout all of COVID at this point. Yeah. And I remember being in like the middle of nowhere, like the boonies, and I watched Justin Herbert get drafted, and I was so mad because I wanted Tua, but it worked out.
I remember always specifically just watching that draft. We get to 22, 23. Well, I remember like I was biting my nails just waiting to see what. I knew they were going wide receiver.
You were probably thinking Jalen Reagor.
I thought we were getting Reagor, and I would have been okay with it. But once like the snap of bam, the Eagles are. It all worked out. I mean, they won a Super Bowl, but like
not with Jalen Reagor though.
And then Justin Jefferson, I was like, I knew we had a star.
Yep.
But that was a good draft. So
heck yeah,
we have a new draft this year, whole new draft class. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. You have Jackson Dart, our top quarterbacks. We also have a good group of O-linemen.
Great O-linemen.
Great O-line. And then you have...
Good running back class, dude. I, like, when you said that you think this is going to be historically bad, I think it's going to be a really, really good class. It's not going to be a quarterback-heavy class. It's not going to be
quarterback-heavy.
Which is that's what everybody wants, and that's what everybody talks about. But I think there's going to be a lot of all-pro bowlers.
I just don't think it's going to be a great... I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be similar to Malik Willis this year.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's me being a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is a highly anticipated draft.
Okay. Fair.
I don't know. I think there's great players, a great offensive lineman. We got good D linemen.
Right.
I don't think the quarterback situation is amazing.
I agree.
But I do think...
I think it sucks. I think this quarterback class sucks.
Yeah. Like, I
won't beat around the bush.
If the Titans didn't have the number 1 overall pick, I don't think Cam Ward would go number 1.
Oh,
I think he's got great talent.
I don't think Cam Ward would have went number 1 overall last year. I don't think he would go number 1 overall next year. Is that crazy to say?
Oh, no. He would not go number 1 next year.
No.
I don't even know if he'd go like top 15. I don't think he'd be 1 or 2.
Yeah, really?
No. I think it'd be Arch, and then, you know who's going to go really high? I think he's going to go number 2 next year. But this is a conversation for next year. Is Penn State's quarterback.
Oh,
Drew Allard.
Drew Allard, yeah. People love him.
I mean,
it's gonna. I think it's gonna come down to what he does this upcoming year.
Yeah, love Drew Allard. Not amazing in great situations.
Fair.
But so let's dive in a little bit with the NFL draft because, of course, we work in the card market and we break for a living.
Correct.
Let's talk about a little bit about who could be most impacted by this NFL draft. So, for an example, we'll start off with last year Jaden Daniels drafted to the Commanders, number 2 overall pick, and you see Terry McLaurin's market rises because he's got a quarterback for first time since ever. And you saw that go up. So who could be somebody you see that, could be really impacted by the card market?
Inevitably, you're thinking with the Titans, right? Calvin Ridley. I don't think Calvin Ridley's good.
No.
So I don't think his market is really I don't know. I mean, I think originally, right, it might be a good time to buy Calvin Ridley like right this second. And move it before the season starts. I just don't think Calvin Ridley's that good anymore. I think after the whole scandal, he had a great couple of years. He had the gambling scandal, and he fell off a cliff. Jacksonville, he couldn't catch a ball to save his life. Last year, he had like spurts where he was okay. I don't think he was the best receiver on the team last year. I think it was Akine Westbrook.
Yep.
I mean, the Titans sucked last year anyways, but like I think Akine Westbrook was the best wide receiver on the team last year, and you might say, who the heck is that guy? That's my point.
I watched him catch a 96-yard touchdown against Minnesota in Nashville last year.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
Akine Westbrook?
Yeah.
He's not bad. He's actually not bad.
No, he's not bad.
He's with the Finns now.
Yeah. What do you think about, I'll pivot from Ridley. What about Treylon Burks, where his market is at the lowest probably it's ever been, where now he has maybe a quarterback. He's got to stay healthy, but could his market go up?
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of been a bust, right? Off the rip.
He was very
this is
very good in college.
Oh, dude, he was nasty with Arkansas. He was a beast. But like the difference, I was thinking about last year's draft, right? You bring up Terry McLaurin. We knew the potential that Terry McLaurin had, right?
He just needed a quarterback.
He needed a quarterback.
They call him Scary Terry for a reason.
He blew up, right? Yep. On the other hand, with the Bears, right? You would think DJ Moore was going to have his market was going to spike. Keenan Allen,
any of those
moved,
wide
right?
receivers in Chicago.
But I think that was the thing is like they were in a weird situation where A, they had a bad offensive line, and B, they had so many weapons. Even like Cole Kmet. Like Cole Kmet had I thought he had a pretty good season last year.
Oh yeah, he had a great season.
I think that it's situational where like Calvin Ridley I think is a good buy. Even though I don't think he's going to be that good, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's an interesting an interesting team in general, just because Cam Ward's great, but we talked about a couple weeks ago, does he have the coaching around him to be successful?
Yeah.
Does he have the offensive line to be successful? I don't think so.
Yeah, he's kind of getting thrown into what the Bears were last year without good receivers.
Yep, so it's all going to depend on how Cam Ward comes out. I don't necessarily see any of the wide receivers market going too crazy. I think they need to get, maybe if they take somebody else in the draft,
right?
That could affect their market, but
right.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in Tennessee for everybody else's market to
I agree.
Kind of come into place with Cam Ward, but if there's anybody that probably would be impacted by the team,
it'd be Calvin.
It would be Calvin, really.
It'd be Calvin. I'm cool with buying him right now to sell him after he gets drafted because you already know there's going to be hype. Oh, Calvin's going to have a great season.
I would throw out Tony Pollard, but it's tough for a running back much. But he is a guy that
he had a great season last year.
He did, and he's a guy that still can catch passes. He's not like a Derrick Henry, like where I don't think Lamar is going to impact Derrick Henry much. But Tony Pollard, who can catch passes outside of the backfield, like that could affect him.
I will give you a name that I've been high on this whole offseason, and I think they're going to win the division. Okay. And that is Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a great buy because I've seen a lot of draft projections that at 5 they're going to get the McMullen kid from Arizona State, and I think he's a stud. I think he's going to be by far the best wide receiver in the draft.
I don't know about him. I don't know about him.
I know. I already know where you're going with this Ole Miss kid, right?
I just like. I don't know about him. Sell me on him because I don't know.
He's built exactly like.
I think he's good, but I don't think he's that great.
But why? Because he was on Arizona State. I mean, his comparison to me is somebody like Mike Evans. I mean, just a freak of nature. He's big. He gets open. Like he had. I mean, phenomenal. I mean, he led almost all NCAA Division I.
Top 5 though.
100%. I love it. And that's what the Jags need. I mean, they might go offensive line, which I'd be totally cool with. But, like, I think Trevor Lawrence is a perfect buy this offseason no matter where they go.
I agree.
New offensive or new head coach. Like, him and Brian Thomas together. Like, I think that Trevor Lawrence is a great buy this offseason. This is his last year to really prove it. I don't know.
No, I'm with you on T. I'm with you on T-Law.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just questioning what they do and how they help him.
Like, if you're the Jags, where do you go? You go offensive line?
I think their offensive line is decent. It isn't great. I think they really need. It showed in their they could not run the ball last year at all.
Yeah,
like at all.
Well, they couldn't really do much.
Here, I'll kind of with this one too. If they can get offensive linemen at 5, what about in a resurgence of ETN?
He sucks too.
Maybe
I
'cause
like
he didn't have
Tank
any defensive
Bigsby.
line.
I like Tank Bigsby way more than
See,
Travis.
I was just never that guy. I know everybody loved Bigsby. It was the same way in Pittsburgh. I didn't like Jalen Warren, but I think they gave up on Najee way too soon.
See, that's where I disagree. I think that bringing in Jalen Warren resurged Najee Harris's career.
Okay.
Am I wrong? I mean, am I wrong?
I just think maybe it pushed him. Maybe it pushed him, or maybe it just set up that offense better.
Right.
But I think people gave up on Najee too quick. But they were like, start Warren, and that's why I don't want to happen to Bigsby and ETN. I still think ETN's a good player.
I see. I disagree.
I still think he's a good player.
Dude.
So
he cost them so many games last year, dude. He was handed that team on a silver pallet. Right?
He was.
Tank Bigsby didn't play at all. They got rid of James Robinson, who I thought was phenomenal.
Dude, right? I love
Dude,
Robinson.
he had a great season with the Jags.
And then they dumped him.
He disappeared.
And then,
all for your boy Travis Etienne, and he's done absolutely nothing. I haven't seen.
He wasn't good. The year before, he was phenomenal.
Let me pull up his stats. Let me just pull up his stats.
The year before, he was phenomenal. I think an offensive lineman could help two players in that offensive system with Travis Etienne and T-Law. You're going to give T-Law more time, and you're going to give Travis Etienne some more gaps to go through. If they could draft a really good offensive lineman in the top 5, maybe slide back. I just wouldn't take a wide receiver that high, but I do think that could increase their card market. Maybe now's the great time to buy Etienne before the draft. They do go all on.
I'm just saying. I'm going to go over this, and you're not going to be happy.
Oh, boy.
He had 150 rushes.
Let me guess.
In 15 games. The year prior, you're right. He had a solid season. He had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he probably had 600, like 75.
558 yards for 2 touchdowns. And this is where I'm curious if they have this on here.
That
He
tells
only had 1 fumble? Damn, I thought he had more fumbles.
It's so bad. I traded DeAndre Swift for him because I was like, it was right before DeAndre Swift surge in fantasy.
Yeah, I know.
Right before, and I was like, this could be a great trade.
Yeah.
And then bam.
Yeah,
it was tough.
And then Tank just took over.
But even like, I still don't think Tank was amazing.
No, I agree.
They could not score a rushing touchdown to save their life.
And I think it was him that fumbled quite a bit.
They couldn't score a touchdown to save their life.
Yeah.
What do you think about, because we'll go from one quarterback to another, and I think it's a card market. It's a lot of quarterback heavy. What do you think about Spencer Rattler? I think it could go both ways. It could go both ways where that pick could really hurt them if they go quarterback for some reason.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to go quarterback.
I don't know. I'm very curious. Maybe they go in like the 3rd round, 4th round, something like that.
Yeah, but that just doesn't even make sense at that point.
It's just
like if they don't draft
out.
In my opinion,
100%. Yeah.
You tell me what you think about this. In my opinion, if I'm the Saints, either A, I'm drafting a quarterback 1st round, or I'm not drafting a quarterback at all. Because if they go 3rd again, that's what they did with Spencer Rattler. Like, what's the point in that?
It's fair. I get
what's
it.
the point?
I get
in
it.
that?
I get it.
If you're gonna go all in, go all in. Put your eggs in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Draft Shador Sanders at 9. Draft Jackson Dart at 9, or I think they're at 9, 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just go all in, or don't at all. I don't know.
Well, see, so I like I said,
that's another team that could go wide receiver.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If they go wide receiver, because, they are at 9, you could really help his market by getting him another weapon. You'd have Chris Olave and, like, say, McMillan or Burden, where, man, he's got someone to throw. Like,
I agree.
I'm actually a fan of Spencer Rattler. I like Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
He didn't have people to throw to last year because everybody got hurt. Half that team was hurt, and Olave was in and out of the active roster.
That team was just bad. It's just
they were bad,
and they're going to be
offensively,
bad.
defensively,
and that's kind of like a tough situation for him. I think he's fine. Like, I think people criticize him heavy. What round was he drafted in? Was he a 4th round pick?
Spencer Rattler?
Yeah,
I believe he was 3rd round. Because he was drafted. Let's see,
he was 150th overall, 5th round.
So he's 5th round. Yep.
So he's a 5th rounder. Like, I mean, he's
crazy because you remember he was projected as
like a top 5 pick at one point
when he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And Caleb took his spot, and then he kind of just went down. But had a great final season at South Carolina.
And honestly, I don't think he was very good last year for the Saints. But like, I watched his last game. Like, for example, we criticized Bryce Young throughout his entire first year.
Mm-hmm.
Then his final couple of games, he kind of popped off. He looked great. I think
yeah.
Spencer did the same thing last year.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think he was, I obviously wasn't winning games, but like, I didn't think he was that bad.
But there were some games he was that bad.
Oh,
that they
dude,
went
yeah,
to
he was
Jake Heaney or whatever.
Jake Haener.
Yeah, Jake Haener.
He's not it.
And he was not
He's
it
not
at
it.
all. I remember, I'll always be sick because Spencer Rattler had 169 passing yards in one of the games. They went to Haener for like the final drive. I had him at 175. Don't want to talk about it.
That's disgusting.
But what do you think about with Spencer?
Back onto your point. Again, he's another player that, like, if you think if a wide receiver is going to get drafted, he's a great pickup this offseason. I don't think he's like Calvin Ridley. I don't think he's gonna do well because his organization isn't good. In my opinion. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'd agree. I've never been a fan of the Saints organization ever since 09 knocked the Vikings off.
Yeah, that's true.
I try not to pay much attention to it. But what do you think, too, as we're on the topic of the Saints, and we're wrapping up kind of the impact of the car market with the draft?
Yep.
What do you think about if Genty falls to the Saints at 9 taking him?
Damn.
Do you think, I mean, you're not going to get much out of Alvin Kamara.
There's no shot that happens, though.
I know, but like,
wait, because who's projected right now to take him? You have the Raiders.
I'm looking at a mock draft right now that has Genty at 9 because Panthers aren't going to take him. Jets probably aren't going to take him. Colts aren't going to take him. Jonathan Taylor. Jacksonville's not going to take him.
No. Raiders.
So
where are the Raiders?
You would have the Raiders.
You have Raiders and Bears.
Raiders.
Right?
Sorry, I threw Colts in there. Just had a projected trade. Raiders have the 6th pick. If he falls past the Raiders, I think he could fall down
to the Saints.
You
really think?
But I think also somebody would probably trade up.
Yeah, like the Bears.
Could be.
I think the Bears should go balls to the wall for him. Like, get rid of all your...
Because Bears have that 10 spot.
They should... dude, if I'm the Bears, and you think that he's going to leave at the Raiders, like, I'm going full Mike Ditka, what is it, 2000 draft? 99, I think it's 99 draft, Ricky Jackson style, and trading all of my picks. I'm trading everything and going after him.
I don't think he falls out of the top 10, but if he falls to the Saints at 9 and, you're coming on and aging Alvin Kamara, why not take him? That would help Rattler. I would. If I was any team that didn't have like a very well,
but that comes back to my whole thing with, like, I think it's a loaded running back class. Like, you also have Hampton, you have Shabadoo. I mean, you've got the Syracuse kid. I mean, it's a great class. Like, I wouldn't be in a rush to move off Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Would you? I don't know. I don't think he's not that old. He's drafted in 2017.
I just think running backs don't have a long shelf life.
Here we go.
They don't have a long shelf
like Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry is a different breed.
I think Alvin Kamara is a different breed.
I think he is too.
Like, you don't think Alvin Kamara still has it in him? We were just you were just
two-head backfield though.
You were just talking about how crappy their offensive line was and how bad that team is. Alvin Kamara had a phenomenal season 2 years ago and still had a solid season last year. Did he not? Wasn't it him? Was it last year where he had like 16 receptions in one game? Remember that?
Oh,
was that last year?
Could have been.
Or was it 2 years ago? It may have been 2 years ago. Either way, like, I think Alvin Kamara is perfectly fine. I would love to have Alvin Kamara on my team.
What about trading him? I just don't think you could pass up on a guy like Genty. Listen, they got other needs, but that could help Spencer Rattler's market.
Yeah.
If you got a running, like a true dominant running back. Thing is, they did lose Ramczyk, so it might be that. I mean, he was getting older, but that offensive line may be a little bit different. So I will take. Do you have any hot takes for this upcoming draft?
I think Shedeur Sanders still falls out of the first round. I don't think it's going to happen, but like, you wanted a hot take, I'll give you a hot take. I don't think
Shedeur Sanders falling out of the first. I don't think so.
Well, listen, people didn't think Lamar Jackson was gonna be drafted outside the top 10. He went 32nd. I'm just saying.
Listen, my hot take's very similar, but I don't think he falls out of the first round.
Really?
I mean, you know where I'm gonna go with this. If you had to guess, it was Shedeur Sanders. What I'm gonna say? What would you think? I think I've said this before, but I think Shedeur Sanders is not the second quarterback taken in the draft.
No, 100%. It's gonna be Jackson Dart.
It's gonna be Jackson Dart.
Can I want to say something even crazier. It's impossible.
Do you not think Shedeur is gonna be the third?
What if I might be biased here because 315. What if Kyle McCord somehow got drafted over?
Yikes. I don't know about that.
I had a dream once. That'd be nuts. I'm just saying, I
think if
like
there's anybody
Shedeur.
that could sneak up above Shedeur, it'd be Tyler Shaw.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or, dude,
Dylan Gabriel?
what if?
No, probably not, right?
I think Jalen Milroe is.
Yeah.
I think,
No, shoot. That's what I was going to say.
I don't think he's a first rounder. He's about to be. I think he's going to take it the first round.
I think he gets. That's what I
Why
was
was
thinking.
he invited to
I don't
the
know why. I
draft?
just had a mind. I just had a mind blank. I think that Milroe is going to be drafted. And you want to know something? If they clip this and post this on Instagram, go after me. I don't care. Milroe is way better than gosh darn Shedeur Sanders.
I agree.
I'm going to say
I
that.
think so too. There's a reason why he went to Alabama.
Yep.
There's a reason why he
Agree.
went to Alabama.
And let's just
he
listen.
was a projected top 5 pick before like.
However
last
you want to
year.
compare it, okay? I defended Shedeur, and I'm still I'm a defender for Shedeur Sanders. I think he's going to be fine in the NFL. He just got put in the rafters at Colorado.
Yeah.
He has one
deserve
win
it.
against what, a top 10 team, top 25 team.
You could throw him in like the TikTok rafters. Don't throw him in the retired jersey rafters. If there's anybody that deserves it, Travis
That's
Hunter.
insane.
He
agree.
He won a
Yeah,
Heisman.
I agree.
He won a Heisman. Shedeur Sanders barely. I don't even think had a winning record his first year there. Had a winning. Yes, he did have a winning record his second year there.
Right.
Congrats. Good for him. Colorado put back on the map.
Right.
Did not deserve to have his jersey retired.
No,
I'm
I agree.
sorry.
That's crazy to me.
I'm sorry, but no, he didn't do enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that means you're just setting a standard for literally anybody.
Right.
Setting a standard for anybody.
Did Travis Hunter's number get retired? Too?
Yeah.
Travis Hunter did?
Yeah, they both got.
Oh, they did?
put in the
Okay.
rafters.
Travis Hunter, I'm fine with.
Yeah, and I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
You want to hide?
We're going to get some slack.
Oh, 100%. People, I tell you what, I didn't expect with one of the last videos on social media.
Yeah, you got ripped
People
apart
to
about
defend Shedeur so much. It's so because Shedeur.
Hey, let's see him ball.
Listen,
let's see him ball.
It's not any
Shut us up.
It's not any disrespect or anything.
No, it's not. It's our opinion, dude.
And I'm not going to use this because I am 100% a Bronny defender.
Yeah.
100%. If Shedeur didn't have his last name, he wouldn't be a first round pick.
100%.
He wouldn't even be considered.
No, I agree.
Maybe that's very hypocritical of me to say because I do defend Bronny and I think without his last name, he's a solid player.
Yeah.
Shedeur is last name. I think.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think Bronny is a better basketball player than Shedeur is a football player?
That's a great question.
Shedeur is a better football player, dude. Come on. I mean, Bronny's solid.
Yeah. I give Shedeur Shedeur the nod.
If it wasn't Sanders, if he wasn't a Sander, where do you think he would get drafted?
5th round.
Wow.
Because I don't think he would have been.
Listen, I'll rip on him, but
I don't think he would have been high first round.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he would have been a high
know.
recruit. Well, he would have. He's a good player. I know he was good in high school.
Right.
I know he was good in high school. I don't think he would have been much hype as he has now.
Really?
I
Damn.
don't think so.
No, I agree, but I don't know about 5th round, dude. He's gonna. I think he's. Do you think he's gonna be a serviceable quarterback in the NFL?
Can I say something crazy? I think. Oh boy. Oh.
Yeah, lay it on him.
I
man.
think he is a Tyrod Taylor at best.
That's nuts, dude.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
I think he's a Tyrod Taylor.
I
They're
totally-
literally the same build. I think he's a Tyrod Taylor at best.
I think he's better. I think he's got better vision.
Maybe like a. I don't want to compare him with Johnson because Johnson's been on 40 teams. I'll go. Tyrod Taylor. Let's think of that.
Let's just move on. That's nuts.
I think Shedeur's sort of a hot take. I think Shedeur's going to end up with a team that already has an established quarterback. I think he's going to go and back
Really?
up, and it's going to be a problem with Daddy.
I think that'd be a great thing for him.
I agree.
I think it'd be a great thing for him because he's never been in a situation like that, right?
Yep. No, he's always been the star.
Yeah, he needs. I think that would be really good for him.
And I don't want to say he needs to be humble because I think in a way he is humbled.
I agree.
I don't know him personally. Obviously
I agree with that too. He's not like his father, where he's very
outgoing,
not very
afraid to talk, 100%.
Talks his talk. One thing with his daddy though, he walked the walk. I'll give Mr. Sanders that. I'll tell you what,
100%.
that guy was a baller,
100%.
best corner ever.
So if I think this team's gonna take a quarterback. This is why I'll throw this out there. Him going to an established team, Rams at 26.
Love it. I think,
go to a big
dude,
market like that where you have.
I think his dad would love that too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right, even behind. Yeah, I would.
To be on
sheesh,
Stafford
that
for
would
a
be
year.
that's a great take.
Yeah,
that's a great
send
take.
him to LA. Let
That'd be
him
a
sit
good
behind a
spot.
quarterback. I don't think he's ready to start.
You
want to
know what'd be nuts? Sorry, I don't want to keep going off on a tangent.
No, keep.
What about the Niners, dude?
That's what I said the other day with him going to the Niners.
Yeah, it's disrespect to Brock Purdy. Because you do.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. I think he showed it last year. I still don't think he's that guy.
That makes no sense.
I just don't think he's that guy. I think he showed. I know they were very injured last year. I just don't see it.
So you don't think they should you don't think he should get paid his contract? He took him to 2 playoff appearances, an NFC championship game where he should have won the game if he didn't rip his shoulder off.
I think, I would give Sam Darnold a bigger contract than Brock Purdy.
That's absolutely nuts. That makes no sense.
I'd give Sam Darnold a bigger contract.
Makes no sense.
I just don't think he's got it.
Okay.
Listen, I want to see him on a team, and maybe this is unfair when I say with Sam Darnold. I want to see him on a team that's not 49ers too.
That's not the point. That doesn't make any sense. That's such a dumb argument. The whole system quarterback BS is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard.
I think we're about to find out Sam Darnold.
We can talk about that with Jalen Hurts. You think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think he's better than Justin Herbert? Do you think he's better than Joe Burrow?
Burrow, no. Herbert could be up for question.
That's crazy.
Herbert could be up for question.
Physically, I mean, have we watched? You've been watching football. I mean, we know that Justin Herbert is a more physically gifted quarterback.
I love Justin Herbert.
I obviously love him. He is a physical specimen compared to Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
But Jalen Hurts is winning games because of the system that he's in, right? And I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm going to pay him a bag because of that. Brock Purdy might suck in any other organization, but he's balling out with the Niners. Why not pay him the bag? If it's not broke, why are we fixing it? Like, why are we arguing this? Let's go back to the whole situation from last year, right? Almost still won the division with everything going wrong. I mean, everything going wrong. Am I wrong? Am I wrong here?
I don't know if they were close to winning the division.
What are you talking about? They were 8-8. They were 1 game away from winning the division.
I guess they kind of went on a run at the end of the year.
That was a crap division. The Rams squeaked out a win at the end and made the playoffs.
Wait, last year?
Yes.
49ers came in last.
I know, but what was their record?
6-11.
Oh, shoot.
Got him.
They had a bad run. They had a bad run. I still think Brock Purdy should be paid. I mean, that's just nuts to me.
Here's what I would argue.
Everything went wrong. Brandon Ayuk goes down for the season. Deebo Samuel was a crybaby and then got hurt again. George Kittle is George Kittle, and he's always hot and cold. Like, what else do you want this kid to do? He's the last overall pick in the draft.
But now I don't think you can hold him to that standard anymore.
You're right. I agree with you 100%. You shouldn't have to hold him to that standard because he's proven that he's a proven quarterback and takes his team to the NFC Championship game.
So you're saying right now, invest Brock Purdy.
Yes, 100%.
Before he gets that big contract.
100%.
And if you're the 49ers, you're investing in him as well.
Yes.
And you're putting that money into him.
I would.
But why not go? Why not when you know you're about to lose like Christian McCaffrey in a year or two because he's getting older? Why not go put all your big money into a quarterback that is better than Brock Purdy?
Name one right now that is better than Brock Purdy. If you say Sam Darnold,
no, I was gonna say
you want to talk
Darnold.
about a one-hit wonder, no offense.
No, I get it.
You had a great quarterback. I think Sam Darnold's going to be terrible.
Yo, hear me out.
Terrible with Seattle.
Hear me out. T-Law.
What about him?
If he doesn't have a good year in Jacksonville this year, and I'm just throwing out names.
I love T-Law, and I agree.
Why not go trade for a big money quarterback and use that money towards somebody bigger that you know that's above expectation?
Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Expectation. Who has done better overall in their career?
Who's got a higher potential?
You want to know who had a really high potential? Ryan Leaf. How did that work? You want to know who had a great potential? Jason Campbell. How did that work? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they aren't T-Law.
You're right.
T-Law got comps to Peyton Manning in college.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ryan Leaf had comps of some of the best quarterback of all. Oh, you want to know who's a great example?
Oh, boy.
What was his name from the Raiders?
DeMarcus Russell.
Yeah.
DeMarcus, yeah.
You want to talk about comps? That guy had no comps. He was supposed to be the next gosh darn Jesus, for all I know. And that didn't work out. I'm just saying.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Easter. That proves my point though, right? Potential can only go so far. You just said it. You can compare and say that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. Who has better potential, Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts? Let's not beat around the bush here. Don't even. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Obviously,
Here's the thing: Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl.
That's my point.
Already.
This is my point. Is statistically, Trevor Lawrence has the attributes to be a better, way better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has done better than Trevor Lawrence. It's all in the system. If you just pay the guy, it's going to be fine because he's proven time and time again in that system. Yes, last year didn't work. He's proven time and time again. You want to know what didn't work? Was 2 years ago with the Eagles when they were almighty. What were they? 11-0 and lost every single game from then on out and went 0-1 the playoffs. And everybody said Jalen Hurts isn't the guy. He sucks. He's this. Blah blah blah. Guess what he did? He went out, won a Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy, 1 year last year, rough year.
Yeah,
he sucks. Get rid of him. Dump him. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Right.
I'm not saying that the Niners are gonna be all that, but
no, and I'll leave it at this too. They lost half their roster.
You're right.
We'll see how they go this year.
Agree.
We'll see how we can handle not having Debo.
They gotta go.
Not having.
Yeah, they do have to go guru this offseason.
They really lost a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Let's talk about as we wrap up.
Yeah, sorry.
With the draft. No. With Travis Hunter, how we never had a guy on both sides of the ball. Like the fact that he's a wide receiver and a corner. What will his market look like?
I think it's going to be
when
great.
it comes to next season's product. How much will it be sought after? Will it be more than any quarterback? Which is something probably we haven't seen. I don't even know.
Man, I think so. I do. Just because we've never seen a player like that.
Yep.
You know, I mean, think about it with like Wemby, for example. I'm not a huge basketball guy, but I know that center market is not the greatest usually. Would you Wemby's a center, right?
100%, like for Jokic's market, which we'll talk about in a little bit, like for being one of the great, he'll go down as one of the greatest players of all time. It's really not like an insane market,
right?
Compared to like a Luka
or even like Wemby. Like Wemby is an exception, and I think Travis Hunter is going to be an exception because it's a player that we've never seen before. You know.
So it's similar to with like Ohtani, who can pitch, and hit as well. His market is insane, but he's also insane at what he does.
Right.
Like he's a 3-time MVP.
I think it's going to be like that for Travis Hunter. I'm curious to see what he actually does.
Oh, of course.
Like what it comes down to.
Of course.
You know, I don't know how sustainable that market is going to be until we actually see what he does on the field. Like if he's strict corner, I think that changes.
100%.
You know.
If his market will be better at wide receiver than corner. I mean, when have you really seen people chasing corners other than maybe Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, no. Sauce he's had a solid market. Or like Patrick Surtain. He's got a solid market.
But like
no, I agree.
Obviously you don't use Chase, but the fact that he can do it both.
I agree. I hope this elevates the market for those type of players. You know, even wide receivers. Like I would love to see like a higher influx of money come in and people investing into wide receivers and corners because of a player like this.
And I think there has been more interest in wide receivers. You saw like
or just like different positions. Like you saw Jalen Carter or like Cooper DeJean.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
And then like people invested in Roma Dunze last year. This year. Malik Neighbors.
BTJ.
You also have like BTJ last year with Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs, running back,
Sam Laporta had a good market. Kind of guys like that. Which I'd love to see is more chases, more teams that open up when it comes to breaking that people can chase after and they know they can hit.
And you know, that's one way I've always approached the hobby is like quarterbacks are everything, and that's all that matters. And it's starting to change. For me at least, like I have a lot of lad right now. Yeah. Like one of my good friends in the hobby, he's done the lad Prism Rainbow. I know that wasn't cheap. No. Like it's not cheap. The 101, I mean, shout out If Sport Cards with Ian. The 101 Black Finite was pulled, and it was on the top 10 pulls of the week.
Good.
Like that's big. Like that's cool. That's good to see. Like I want to see more variation within the football market, you know? So
no, I love it. So talk about last year's rookie class. Let's talk a little bit about the market and where they were drafted and where they sit now. So you have Bears taking Caleb 1, Commanders taking Jaden Daniels 2, Patriots taking Drake May 3, then you have Penix at 8, JJ McCarthy at 10, Bo Nix at 12. So re-rank those draft picks when it comes to their market. Like, obviously, you probably put Jaden Daniels first.
Yep. Jaden Daniels 1. I'm going to still go Caleb 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Bo Nix 3 probably.
Okay. Over Drake May?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say. And then
I
Drake,
agree.
as of right this set, are you saying like what their market is now or what I project is going to happen? Like
now. Let's go now.
Now? So I'd go Jaden. I'd go Caleb. I would go Bo. I haven't looked at any of this, by the way. I'm just throwing random guesses out there. I'm going to go Drake. Then I'm going to go Michael Penix. And then I'm going to go JJ 5th. Just because we haven't seen JJ yet, I think that's why. And we saw a little bit of Michael Penix last year, I believe. So,
you know, I will say, because I've actually been looking into this a lot lately, as I've been buying more JJ McCarthy. JJ's market is like right there with Penix, if not a little higher.
Is
now.
it? I believe it. It's the hype. It's the hype. I agree.
And having the
as
weapons,
it should be.
having the weapons, the really good offensive line. Like he's going to be. He realistically should not fail. He has everything waiting for him.
That'd be impressive.
And ever since Sam,
if he fails, dude, that's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
We don't need to draft quarterback again because we can't draft quarterback apparently.
I would just
trade for Herbert.
I would just get rid of the Vikings.
At this point, we can't win a Super Bowl to save our life. But yeah, JJ's market's very good. Ever since Sam Darnold choked in the playoffs, they haven't. It's JJ McCarthy's market instantly went up.
Oh, 100%.
Instantly. Start skyrocketing. So I'd agree with that assessment. Maybe I'd put JJ above Penix, and then Penix last. But
do you like Bo over May?
I think so. I think Bo Nix has a great market, dude.
Yeah, he does.
A great market. And listen,
sucks.
I wasn't a Bo Nix hater because I actually loved him in college. I just didn't know how he fit in the NFL.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how that was going to work
getting older.
out.
I mean, we all knew it. Like it was the thing that everybody picked on, that he was an older guy, but like I mean, he's not that much older.
No.
Like I think he was like 24 coming in.
He maxed out all his years in college.
Yeah.
Then Drake May now has Stephon Diggs too.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have a good weapon. He's gonna have a little bit of a different offense.
The Patriots are interesting though. Like
of course.
Their defense is so nasty, but like they didn't do anything other than getting Stephon Diggs to improve that team for him.
Okay.
You know, I don't think I like Drake May. I think Drake May's solid. I'm a UNC fan. You know me. Like I like Drake May a lot, but like. I don't think they did anything to help. Like they're gonna have to go balls to the wall in the draft too.
Yep.
Like I don't
know. They need to help out. Maybe they traded for a little Travis Hunter. Who knows?
Yeah.
Help you on offensively and defensively. You got Christian Gonzalez on the defense.
Yeah.
They're solid. Nothing that impressed me. All right. So as we're wrapping up draft talk, I want to ask you because we had some talk after our 101 John Elway got hit out of Cosmic Chrome the other day on We the Hobby Blitz. It was a first flight 101 Superfractor auto. So let's go back to the 1983 draft.
Yeah.
Break down for me and convince me why or why not that is the best draft in NFL history. It's
funny that you bring that up because I recently just watched the 30 for 30 on that draft with Elway and Dan Marino having the same agent. And I will 150% convince you on why that is the best draft.
Okay.
Let's just go through the name of Hall of Famers, why don't we? Starting off, Eric Dickerson. Possibly the best running back of all time, right? Arguably. I'm not saying he is, just saying. You also, outside of John Elway and Dan Marino, you had Jim Kelly. Ken O'Brien was solid too. I don't know if you remember. Well, obviously you and I don't remember, but I don't know if you've ever heard the story of the Dan Marino and Ken O'Brien game where they threw like 13 touchdown passes between both of them in one game. It was nuts. And Ken O'Brien ended up winning that game. So yeah, you had John Elway, Dan Marino, Bruce Matthews, arguably the best offensive lineman to ever play. Darryl Green, who I believe, no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Darryl Green's also a Hall of Famer though. One of the fastest corners to ever do it. Richard Dent, Hall of Famer, 8th rounder, by the way, in that draft. And you had Jimbo Covert. So, I mean, overall, about 1 million Hall of Famers. A lot of hype, too. A lot of cool stories about that draft with, you got to watch the 30 for 30. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but just go watch it. It's really good.
Okay. You know what draft class I love and I'd put up there and doesn't get enough? Maybe it does get enough love, but...
Did you say the 2020 draft? That was good.
It could end up going down.
It could.
It definitely could. This last class, maybe in 15 years, we're looking at best. I was just say 2004. I think the 2004 draft class is very good. You're talking like Eli Manning, first overall pick, 2 Super Bowls. You're talking Larry Fitzgerald,
He was in that? Oh, he was. You're
he
right.
was a third.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's one. I wouldn't say he's one of the best wide receivers of all
You
time.
can give him a
but
top 20 of all time.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
up there. I mean, outstanding dude, outstanding player. Same team his whole career.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, drafted 4th overall. New York traded to, would have been San Diego at the time.
Yep.
Great career, no Super Bowls, but great career.
Your boy.
Then how about
your boy?
Big Ben Roethlisberger?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen too.
Only Hall of Famer from that class right now.
Yeah, yep. Only a Hall of Famer from that class because Big Ben should be going in soon.
Soon, yeah.
Soon. Same with Eli.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Phillip Rivers.
Probably not, right?
Maybe. You also do have.
Dude, that was a loaded class. Holy crap. You had Steven Jackson.
Yep.
You had Vince Wilfork.
Vernon Carey's not bad.
Sean Taylor.
Yep. Very good draft.
Damn.
I mean, just Eli and Big
Cooley.
Ben Roethlisberger alone, that's 4 Super Bowls.
I still don't think it was as good, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was as good as that. In terms of like history of the league, like, I mean, you had so many Hall of Famers in that class. I mean, you could have Hall of Famers in this 04 class, but I don't even think near what the 83
there's not
class
as much.
is.
There's not as many.
That 04 class was. I mean, it's you can argue 2 in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think
you can argue 1. You could argue.
You
1.
do bring up a good point with 2020 because I do think that it's going to be
it's a nasty
amazing class when we look at it in
overall
10 years. I mean, Joe Burrow, I think will be a Hall of Famer at the end of his career.
Damn.
Probably not. But still,
when he's on the field, he's great.
I know.
Yeah.
Herbert could definitely be one too.
Right.
Justin Jefferson will be a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Book it.
Denzel Ward is there
too, right?
CeeDee Lamb is in that.
Could be a future Hall of Famer.
Jerry Jeudy's in that class.
Early to say that, but like that was a very good class.
Oh, dude, it was nasty.
Very good class. So I guess we'll see in due time.
Yeah.
So all right, let's wrap up draft talk. Let's go to the NBA. Let's go to the NBA. It's playoff week, and we had a great weekend in playoff basketball.
Yep.
Recap last night's game on Monday night. So Pistons beat the Knicks 100-94.
Yep.
And then also Clippers beat the Nuggets 105-102. So 2 close games. Cade Cunningham ended up dropping 33 points, 12 rebounds, 37 points from Brunson. Kawhi dropped 29.
Yep,
Jokic dropped 26,
dude.
12, and 10. All I'm going to say is last week I made an argument.
You did.
About Cade Cunningham.
You did.
And I get the Brunson talk, but I'm still taking Cade Cunningham in this series over Jalen Brunson.
That's fine. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I like it. I love Cade Cunningham. I think he's a stud, but he has proven nothing. He hasn't done anything. He made the playoffs this year. He did something you're right. He did something that not a lot of teams have done. I think the biggest turnaround in NBA history, which is huge. But we're not here for turnaround. We're not here for participation trophies. We're here to win, right? And Jalen Brunson has proven that he can win in times.
If you put Brunson on the Pistons, you think they're in the same spot?
Don't know, don't care, because he's not.
I don't think so.
He's don't care.
I think if you switch him, it's not the same.
Definitely could be.
You know what I love about this Pistons team too?
We'll never know though.
Maybe I'll wait for my hot takes, but it's the bad boy Pistons.
They are, dude.
They are the bad boy Pistons, and I love it.
The bad boys.
They were starting a brawl in Monday night's game. Asar, dog.
I know he's the
Jalen Duren, dog. Isaiah Stewart,
dog. Shout out the 518,
right?
Local
Dude,
guy.
I would take that whole team over any team in like a fight. I don't know if that's bad to say. Maybe cut that out, but
love it. I mean, we saw that Isaiah Stewart with LeBron that one.
Dude, we're going main event UFC like I don't know, 250, whatever it is. Dude, give me this new bad boy Pistons all day.
Who do you think's gonna win the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think the Cavs.
I agree.
I think
I think
they're too big for the Celtics.
I wanted you to say the Celtics so I could argue
think Celtics.
Because Zach and I got into it.
Sorry, Zach.
They freaking suck.
Yeah.
I don't think
maybe we'll bring Zach on soon.
They're overhyped
because I think the Cavs are gonna win this.
They're gonna walk through all the way to the Eastern Conference. Oh, I'll tell you what, Jason Tatum is not looking like a superstar. No. I'll tell you what.
He's been all right. So let's talk about some of the players and where their market kind of ranks up. So a guy like Jimmy Butler in the West, we have his market. Market was very low when the season started. You knew it was chaos in Miami. He wanted out. His market went down, especially after last season. Didn't really make much of a run. Did get far in the playoffs,
Right.
unlike maybe previous seasons. But it's up 14%
Yeah,
in the
it's
last
nuts.
3 months. And, I mean, Jimmy Butler's playing well. Had a good game 1 in that series.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, I like Jimmy. Like I said, I'm not. This is like my first year where I've really deep dove into basketball. So like, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, I like Jimmy. I mean, he's another proven leader. Could he be a Hall of Famer? I don't know.
That's a great question.
But he's proven time and time again. Like, this is the thing. I think that if a player is already proven, right, it's never a bad time to buy or sell, in my opinion. Like Jimmy Butler, no matter what happens, I think he's always going to be a great buy because we know what Jimmy Butler can do. Like Kawhi Leonard's a prime example.
Oh, perfect example.
Right? He doesn't have a lot of cards out there. We were talking about this before the pod. But Kawhi is, even though he's getting older, he's still, I don't know. I mean, we saw it last night. What do you have?
39.
39. Like,
yep.
Insane.
So it's perfect. You bring up Kawhi. His market is up 13% in the past month.
I believe it.
I mean, Clippers are playing well.
Dude,
Kawhi's
the Clippers are playing.
He's healthy. Like, knock on wood, but he's healthy right now, which he has not been in the playoffs in years.
They're 2-0, right? In that series right now?
It's 1-1 right now.
Is it 1-1?
It could have been 2-0, but they blew, They blew game 1.
You're right. Overtime.
They were up in game 1, blew that game, but his market's up. He's got Kawhi next to him. Zubac, too, which is great for, I mean, anybody when you got a big man down low that you can also feed it to. Not that Kawhi's going to feed it to him. That's more of a James Harden role.
Right.
But, I mean, if they beat the Nuggets, that's a big series win. Especially since Kawhi hasn't been a part of any of these series wins recently. Because when they made the run to the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, it was Paul George that led that.
Right.
It was Paul George that led the front around that run. Maybe it was one series before, but they made a run, but Kawhi was hurt.
Yeah.
So they didn't have him. So, I mean, his market could keep going up. So, switching over to the other side of that series, Jokic's market. Like, he's a guy that is so great, but his market isn't, where it could be. And it hasn't really gone up, hasn't really gone down. How does it go up? Does he have to win again?
See, that's
like, does it even? Is there anything that could change?
Right, and that's what like doesn't make sense to me. Now, I don't think it helps that like you don't see a lot of sales of his cards because he doesn't have a lot of cards.
No,
I think it was 2015, 2016 draft. So like you don't see a lot of his cards, but he's like another example where if he loses, it could be and this is gonna sound crazy. That's a perfect time to buy that dip. If it does dip.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's going to because we know what the Joker is. What does he have? 3 MVPs? 2 MVPs?
Yeah, 3.
3?
Possibly
so like
4 this year.
Yeah, right? Like, I think that he is like a prime example of like always a great player to buy, no matter the situation. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I get it. He's such an interesting player. It's just like he has a really good market, but it's just like it's not your Luka market.
You're right. Yeah.
It's not even like
it doesn't fluctuate like other players.
Yeah, I would argue Shea has a better market.
Yeah, I agree.
Shea hasn't even won an MVP yet.
I agree. That's a player I'm not buying right now.
Shea?
Yeah.
Okay. That's perfect because I was just about to bring up Shea. His market is up 169%.
My exact point.
169%, and OKC is the 1 seed. Already beat the Grizzlies game 1.
Smoked them by 50.
But the thing is, what if they do make a run to the NBA Finals? The market might go up to 200% increase.
Could. I just think that's a big risk. Because what happens if they do get knocked out in the second round?
But here's what I'll say, too. That maybe it won't matter is if they get knocked out second round, MVP is going to get announced around finals time.
Yeah,
does that make people forget about it when it comes to the market?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't know really if the MVP has too much factor. I mean, going back to the NFL, Jalen Hurts is a prime example. He went out, won a Super Bowl, won an MVP, and his market changed. It got better, but it didn't go up 150%. Again, this comes back to potential in a player, right? People know the potential. Again, I don't want to refer to this to football. People know the potential in Justin Herbert over Jalen Hurts. People know the potential in SGA over somebody like the Joker. They know. I feel like he's reached his potential.
Yeah.
To where like SGA, could he be that next athletic? Crazy.
Dude, here's the thing with Shea too. He's not a big 3-point shooter. Imagine if he could shoot threes. He might average 40 a game.
That'd be nuts.
Like if he could shoot threes, he might be like a 4. He might win an NBA championship. I think that's what the piece that they're missing is if Shea could really lock. He's not great, but if he can shoot
Chet
threes,
does he shoot threes? I don't
not
really watch.
Not
OKC
really.
much.
He's just too big. He plays down low, but they've been putting him with the Hartenstein, so it lets him spread it a little bit.
Yeah.
But Chet's not necessarily a stretch four, but he could make it work, I guess, if he needed to.
So would you say you're buying SGA at the market he's at right now?
I don't think so.
Like, okay, is it worth the risk to go up to 200%? I don't know.
I just don't think I don't think they make it to the finals.
I don't think so either. I think
it's-
they lose.
I
His
guess,
stock
yeah,
at least goes down.
At least wait, see what happens. Maybe wait till April, August.
Yeah,
Maybe see where the market's at then.
I agree.
But I just don't know if that because I do think he wins MVP. Where his market goes. We'll bring up as we wrap up a little NBA talk. Cooper Flagg recently declared for the NBA draft this week, as expected. I never thought he was actually going to stay.
Yeah, there were rumors around saying that he wasn't going to.
There was
why?
There's genuinely no way.
Was it NIL? Is that the reason why?
He wasn't going to get paid as much as he would have made in the NBA.
Stupid.
He's going to get so many brand endorsements.
Oh, dude, you want to know what?
So many brand endorsements. It's not worth. He would have got he's going to get more brand endorsements than he would have gotten. Playing at Duke.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's people are like, oh, he wants to go back win national championship. Dude, people don't care. I bet you Cooper Flagg don't care. I mean, it would have been cool. He don't care. It's about NBA championships.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
Zion didn't care. Oh, none of those guys cared.
None of those guys care. They realistically, he would have went to the NBA, straight to the NBA if he could have. He probably, dude, he was balling out with Team USA.
Yeah, he probably should have
in the scrimmage games all summer and was dunking on Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Like he's ready.
Oh yeah, he's ready.
Why wait another year?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Why wait another year?
I agree. Get that career started.
Where do you think the best fit would him be? I know you're not big in NBA, but like, where do you think would you like to see him?
I would, and this is gonna
Don't
sound,
say it.
I want to say the Spurs.
Ah, I knew you were gonna say
Why?
that. I just didn't listen.
Why?
I still have beef with the NBA. The fact that the Spurs got
I
the
know,
number one
I
overall
know.
pick to get Wemby. I thought I'm not gonna throw out rigged allegations, but like
I mean, it's all freaking.
they did not deserve number one overall pick. That
I
year.
agree. I agree.
It should have
I
been
agree with you.
Pistons. It should have been Pistons.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna be very biased here. I'll throw out a biased
Pistons
answer.
would be sick.
Well, it won't be Pistons. It won't be
76ers?
Pistons. 76ers. Send Cooper Flagg to Philadelphia to play with Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain,
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, Paul George.
Joel Embiid sucks.
Yeah, I know. But Cooper Flagg for the future with Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey just
Hear me out. Build a dream team. Go out. Get Cooper Flagg. Take for your big. Well, not big.
I think they might trade Embiid this summer.
You guys should go out and get Zion. I think Zion gets
That's
moved
so
this
funny you
offseason.
say that because I was thinking about that last night. Let's just say they don't get Cooper Flagg. Let's just say they don't, but they get like the second or third overall pick because they're gonna get. They're probably gonna.
I
top
think,
five. They're
dude,
the top
Zion is my biggest buy right now.
100%. I love Zion. He's just gotta stay healthy.
Right.
But I was thinking about that last night.
He needs a fresh start. He needs nothing good has come out in New Orleans from him. From off court actions to on court actions. Like I just think he needs a fresh start because you want to talk about potential. Woo! Zion's a dog.
Very high
dude.
ceiling because when he's healthy, he's putting up 26, 10, and like 5.
On a crap team.
Yep, and great defensively.
Right.
Pretty solid.
Right.
So I was literally thinking last night is what if Philly gets a top 3 pick? What about trading that top 3 pick to New Orleans to get Zion? You'd probably have to move around money. You definitely would have to move around money, but they could make it work.
Yeah.
And you put him with Joel Embiid, takes a little pressure off him, or just trade Joel Embiid. I don't care. I've moved on. I've moved on from Embiid. I'm ready to go.
They'll have do the Pelicans have a top 5 pick already?
They do.
Yeah,
So imagine
they get
stacking
2.
them with
God
2.
dang.
You can get a guard for the future, and you can maybe get the big man out of Duke, or get Ace Bailey out of Rutgers.
Yeah.
And you're building. They got to restart. CJ McCollum ain't it.
No.
Trey Murphy and Herb Jones are good defensively,
But they're not.
but like that's somebody you're not going to build around them, but they can complement.
Right.
So why not trade?
I agree.
I think it's time too. I think it's time.
I agree.
All right, so let's go to little hot takes, whether you disagree or
Sure.
agree. Do you think Ohio State and Michigan is the best rivalry in college football?
No.
Who do you think is then?
Alabama, Georgia. I'm going to say Alabama, Georgia.
Okay, why?
Pretty self-explanatory, no? I mean, we've seen it over these past couple of years. Last year's the exception. The NIL came in and it's changed this game. In my opinion, and I'm gonna take a lot of heat for this. I think it's changed it for the worse. I really do.
Really?
I really do. Teams with the most money are just going to load up on guys. You're not going to have any chemistry with these players. And we're seeing these players sit out in games left and right, getting ready for God knows what. I'm not a big fan of the NIL. Look at Nico. Look at this whole Nico situation.
Mm-hmm.
He just went and signed four. First off, what did he do to deserve $2 extra million?
Basically.
Like, I don't know. I truly think that Alabama and Georgia have set the precedent with these past couple of years. Yes, obviously last year they didn't win it, but I don't know. What do you think?
You know what? I was ready to fight Michigan, Ohio State, but then I got to thinking, what about the biggest rivalry game of the year? Or at least maybe one of the biggest rivalry games of the year, the most, I don't want to say anticipated, but what about Army Navy?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna say
Alabama Auburn's one.
Texas A&M. Auburn's just fallen off a cliff.
They have, yeah.
You know, that's the only reason I would say Auburn or Alabama and Georgia. But
I know it's not flashy, but Army Navy's pretty big.
Army Navy's big. No,
That's a big
it's classic. I mean, it's classic.
I'm looking at a list: Alabama Auburn, Oklahoma Texas, USC UCLA, Mississippi Ole Miss, Florida State Miami. Florida State Miami's not what it used to be. Florida Georgia. Interesting one. The more I thought about it, honestly, I know this is a big rivalry. Harvard Yale. I know it's not flashy, but like Ryan Fitzpatrick might argue otherwise.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's probably the big one. Notre Dame, USC used to be really big. Florida State. Okay, my other hot take. This is directly from me. I believe the Pistons are going to beat the Knicks in the 7-game series. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I understand that the Knicks are a little banged up right now, and I understand you love Cade Cunningham, but I mean, it comes down to experience, and I think that this Knicks team has the experience. It's just like the whole situation with the Rockets and the Warriors, right? People love this Rockets team. They're the 2 seed. We're talking the Warriors. We're talking the Knicks. They've been, yes, they haven't won the championship recently, but they've made it this far and they're hungry for more.
Okay.
I know you love.
I love Cade.
I do too. And I think Cade's
the
great.
Whole Pistons roster.
That Pistons teams, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with within the next couple of years. I just don't think this is the year for it to be reckoned with.
All right.
In my opinion.
I get it.
I got too much respect for the Knicks. I think they're getting slandered left and right. And it's not fair.
All right.
It's not fair.
I get it.
It's not fair.
Let's move on. We got some releases this week. Donner Optic being one of them. I will say, in my year of being here, I'm about to reach my 1 year. There is something about Donruss Optic release. That's like the 1 week out of any week I remember so clearly from last year.
Oh well,
I was ripping out on the Fanatics Live side.
It was iconic.
And yeah, for you, it's iconic.
Yeah, FOTL, man.
But I mean, you're excited for Donruss Optic?
Dude, I can't wait. I love Donruss Optic. Some of my favorite stuff. Downtown is just iconic, right? They came out with the Uptowns this year.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan.
Okay.
Not a huge fan of it.
Ask about that.
But I understand the appeal. I understand why people like it, and that's totally fine.
Yep.
That's just my personal opinion. I love the downtowns. I think downtown's iconic.
No, I love the downtowns.
Right.
So much fun every year. You go chasing. I mean, the Donruss downtowns were great too. Paper, but I don't know. It took so many cards just to get through it. To get the dang downtown.
Another thing is this is a great draft class.
Of course.
Great quarterbacks throughout. The draft class usually makes everything. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So having a great quarterback draft class is going to be so much fun to hunt, even for the color. Black Pandora, dude, is some of my favorite. My favorite. Rated rookie Black Pandora.
Yep.
I had a chance at the National pick up a Herbert, and I didn't. And I regret it. I'm going to try and get one this year.
You should have grabbed it.
I know.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun week. Donruss Optic release week dropping on Wednesday. I'm sure that'll be running on WeTheHobby for weeks and weeks to come.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk to you about something. So we just recently ripped Cosmic Chrome. And in Cosmic Chrome, you're not guaranteed an auto per box. You're looking at about 4 per case. What are your thoughts on hobby boxes without guaranteed autos?
I love it. I'm fine with that. We see this with Donruss Optic, right? Donruss Optic usually 1 auto per. It gives us something else to chase in the product, right? It's not oversaturating, and it feels like it feels like every auto. I mean, you've ripped Cosmic more than I have. I haven't ripped any of it, but from what I've seen is all the autos in there are kind of nice.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say
from
so.
at least
we've
from
hit
what
some
I've
good
seen.
vet autos.
Right.
And even Jane Daniels, Bo Nix just hit a Drake May the other day.
It makes it
good
just
autos.
less population is going to increase the value of the card. So I'm always game for a good chase, and not oversaturating a market with autos.
And I'll kind of counter it too a little bit with let's just say you're running a half case break. This literally happened the other day.
Yeah.
We're in a half case break, Cosmic Chrome. Not a single auto in that half case.
Yeah.
Somehow we got a half case with not a single auto.
And that's
but
fair.
then the second break, where it was the second half of the case, auto loaded. But the thing is they count what Cosmic Chrome counters it with is Planetary Pursuit.
That's what I was gonna say.
And they'll add like 3.
Like, what is our main chase in that product?
For Cosmic Chrome, Planetary Pursuit.
Planetary Pursuit.
And Cosmic Dust, which is like Color Blast.
It's the same thing with like Prism. Like, you want to know what? I wish Prism didn't have any autos. I don't want any autographs in Prism. Okay. Focus on that color. Because that's really what you're hunting. Yes, you do have some, your autos will sell, but it's a secondary chase. Mm-hmm. Just like it is with, I think this is a good thing. I think it's going to be your secondary chase within Cosmic Chrome. Mm-hmm. So why front load it?
I get it.
You know?
Okay, so my next one. So basically this is on the NBA side.
Yep.
Panini is releasing National Treasure 2024-2025 only early. 2 to 3 months after 23-24, which is Wemby's year of National Treasure was released. So it's set to release on May 23rd. Yep. Could be moved back. What are your thoughts on it being so close? I get it, they'll be losing licensing soon.
I think that's the main reason. But it being
so close, like maybe you could have waited to August or at least like June, July, but we're literally getting it in April when it just released in January, February.
Yeah, not a huge fan of that. I mean, we're seeing this in kind of like football too, like, and not as close, but like even Donruss Optic. Donruss Optic last year released, I want to say like right before the season started, either like mad early September or late August. It was after the National because we went to PSA for it. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I understand it. I think you hit it right on the money. I think it comes down to the license.
Is it too much of a is it a saturated market when it comes to having two classes basically right around the same time when it comes to National Treasure, where like let's just say like a selling site like eBay or whatever is kind of getting just overloaded with National Treasure cards? Do you think that'd be a problem? Where the market's going to go down a little bit because people are buying so many National Treasure cards at once?
So this National Treasures class, it's going to be like Jared McCain, all those guys.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to go well. It kind of scares me.
Amazing class, but there are some good rookie signees.
There are.
I mean, prime example.
That's what scares me, though, is that, like, you have your Wemby that literally just released, and now you're coming out with a lesser draft class. Like, are we going to be oversaturating it? I don't know.
And literally, I'll throw out, too, my same point, is Flawless drops in a week and 2 weeks.
And so people are going to be going hard on that, as they should. And that stuff looks sick.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Sick.
And that kind of, dude, this is like arguably the craziest 4 months in maybe Panini basketball history.
Yeah.
Because we went from National Treasure Wemby year to iMac Wemby year to Flawless Wemby year to National Treasure all within 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, it's great.
This is going to be the crazy. I mean, and I'll say this and
stuff.
Like, that has been, as we just launched Jams in the past six months, like, unbelievable for. Talk about like what a start.
I know
product.
You guys are grinding.
Like it is.
It's perfect storm.
It's so perfect for building a channel, and we've really taken off, and we're continuing to rise. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better product to come out in such a short period of time.
I know.
But no, this is the product you want to rip. I love it, dude. iMac was so much fun. We had so many logos.
I bought into so much iMac.
I know. I did too. Love it. I did decent. I bought into like a Warriors break last week. Somehow I got to the Warriors.
Single case or like
it was double case.
Case.
Me and Big Joe got in, and we did decent. Honestly, like we had Curry dual patch. Dude,
nice.
Those patches,
dude. The patches are
sell so well, dude.
I know.
I sold a Curry and Klay Thompson dual patch for $300.
What?
To $99.
Damn.
Game used. I get, but it sold very well.
That's crazy.
I was selling like
that's sick though.
Pods autos, Trace Jack. We did very well, surprisingly.
Heck yeah.
Dude, iMac was awesome.
I love iMac.
That was awesome. So all right, we got some community questions.
Yep.
Okay. Somebody saying
we do.
We do.
Let's go.
It might have just been Noah, but we got some community questions. If you guys had your own card, what variation would you want?
You go first. I want to see where you go with this.
I guess what the question is asking if we were on the card.
That's
why.
If that's why I pushed it on you. That question, I'm confused.
I'll answer maybe both sides of what I think maybe it's be. If I could create a design, if that's what they're asking, I would say like
of what we're doing on the card.
I don't know.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like maybe an animal that would work. Like we have our snake skin and stuff. I'm trying to think in terms of that.
Yeah.
I
that'd
don't know
be
if that's
kinda dope.
asking, but that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
throw that on there. Prism. What color variation are you chasing of yourself? I'll ask the question.
Okay.
That's not it, but screw it.
I mean, ooh, that's tough. Give me cherry blossom. No, that's too.
That's a dope one. I love. I love.
I mean,
cherry
I was
blossom.
be basic and say like gold vinyl or like
I'm
black
gonna go.
prism.
I'm gonna go snakeskin or white knight. The new one that's grown on me so much. Have you seen the White Knights, the 3?
Yeah.
That's probably where I would go.
Yeah, that's good. I would be basic and say like a black. I mean, obviously like a nebula would be. I mean,
I don't want to be too basic and say that.
No, 100%.
That's fair though.
If I had to create my own card, I would do like.
Yeah, if you had to create your own card, what would it be? What color?
What do we not have? I feel like there's so many of like everything these days. You got snakeskin.
What color would you get rid of? How about that? Out of Prism.
That's a great question. Ooh.
I got one. Green Hyper.
Okay.
Green Hyper sucks. Remember the 175?
See, this is gonna be bad. Well, I've talked about this before. I'd get rid of gold vinyl just because I don't like
that's fair.
that there's black prism.
That's crazy, but that's fair. I get it.
If they were to make it the 1-1, yeah, perfect. I just don't like how there's black and gold. I've talked about that before.
No, I get it.
Okay. If the whole We the Hobby staff had a card set, whose would you think would be the most valuable? I would say you.
No.
Who else do you think, Nate?
I was gonna say Saint Nick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair. Very fair.
Because he's got that persona behind him.
Yeah, he's got
you know what I
the
mean?
flash to him.
He's got that flash. He's got that Travis Hunter to him. You know?
Yeah, I get it. Jeez, I was thinking you were Connor right away. I mean, you were Nick right away.
What was that?
I think Nate might sell.
Yeah.
I think Nate might
Nate
sell.
would sell.
Maybe
well.
all the bad.
Or he'd be given away for free. One of the two.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate.
It'd be in the skunk bag.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, I think I might be in the skunk bag.
No.
No,
That's
I mean,
funny.
I like that question. We've talked.
That's a good question.
We've
That's
talked
funny.
about this a lot. Is on jams like we need our own set.
We do.
We need our own set of cards.
I'll have
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put Noe on it.
Yeah, we'll put Noah on it.
Yeah. All right, that'll wrap up this week's show. Talked about the NFL draft.
Yep.
We talked a little bit of NBA, some hot takes. Talked about some releases this week.
Yep.
Some things got Panini and Topps have going on. So unless there's anything you want to add,
Well,
I mean,
the draft is gonna be here, right? Who do you think the Vikings are gonna be drafting in the first round?
I said Starks out of Georgia.
The
Safety.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it makes
He's
sense.
big dude, right?
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be drafting Loveland. I hope.
Okay.
My freaking fingers are crossed.
All right, I love it.
I'd love for him to drop, but yeah, that'll do it.
Perfect. Make sure to follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow our Instagram page at Buying the Hobby. Also, download us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you stream your podcast.
Yep.
And just stay up to date. Always posting clips on our Instagram. Be nice to me, chat.
Yeah.
I say chat.
You can be mean to you can be mean to me. I kind of went off.
I stopped.
We did this podcast early this week, real early.
I know we got a lot out of you.
It's like it's not even noon yet.
We got a very energized Connor this morning. I love it.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
I love it. Well, all right. That'll do it for episode 5, and we'll see you next time.
We move.